Let's get. Welcome back to Battle Cage. My name is Saif, and this is the rapid picks for UFC Las Vegas 86, headlined by Hermansson versus Joe Bodybags Pyfer. This is going to be my inaugural rapid picks video where I give you my favorite picks and predictions, but this is not a full card prediction video. If you are looking for the full card breakdown, picks, analysis, there are much better content creators here on YouTube, and I I will say you could just stop the video right now and go there. But if you don't have that much time and you want something fast, then this is the video for you. So without wasting any more time, let's jump to the first prediction, which is the main event. So in the main event, we are going to go with Joe Pyfer at minus 238. That's the current odds, courtesy of DraftKings, because you know I'm playing DraftKings. Let's navigate to the card. Here's the card. Thanks to Topology, of course. I love Topology. This is not the lazy way out, but it's the smart way out. So in the main event, I'm gonna go with Joe Pyfer. He packs a lot of power and much more power than Jack Hermansson. And I know Jack Hermansson, the Joker, has an extensive resume, much more experience, but he is getting up there in age. And that last loss to Roman Dolidze did not look good at all, especially what just happened last week, right? But again, maybe Roman was having an off night. I can't speak for Roman there, but we're gonna go with Joe Pyfer, up and coming fighter, his first headliner. This is a big opportunity for him. He already has two big wins in the UFC: a knockout of Jerome Mearshot and a arm triangle choke of Abdul Razak Al Hassan. And I think he's gonna be victorious here, and he's gonna be building up his resume. So I love Joe. I love his hard work ethic, and I think he's going to dominate and KO Jack Hermansson, or maybe submit him. As you can see, he has that in the bag as well. Moving down along, we're going to go into that co-main event, and we have Dan Ige. At the moment, he's what? He's minus 175, and Fili is plus 145. I'm going to lean Dan 50K Ige here for my pick, and I'm gonna lean decision. He does have the power to knock you out. I just respect that Andre Fili enough in his, the way he fights and feints to perhaps avoid crazy shots by Dan 50K Ige and not get finished. But in either case, I do see a playable line at minus 175, and I'm gonna lean Dan Ige here. And yeah, that's pick number two. We're gonna roll down the line, and we have Ihor, the duelist Potieria, taking Robert Bryczek. So at the current odds, we don't have any odds. We're awaiting odds. Ihor is a replacement for I forgot who he's replacing, but he's replacing somebody and stepping up against Robert Bryczek here. Robert Bryczek is a clean technical boxer, and actually a real technical boxer by trade, from Poland, packs that legendary Polish power, and he can knock you out. This is a middleweight. So sorry, Ihor Potieria will have to drop down to middleweight, and he's going to get knocked out at middleweight because Robert Bryczek is that guy. He's patient. He won't bum rush. He'll wait for Ihor to make a mistake, and when he does, and he will, he's going to knock his head off or his shoulders. That's it. That's my pick. I'm going to go with Robert Bryczek, and I'm pretty content with that. Let's move forward. We're gonna go still in the main card. Gregory Robocop Rodrigues taking on Brad Tavares. The current line is gonna be Tavares plus 200, 2-1 dog here, and a favorite, almost a sizable. He's getting up there, considered favorite. Rodrigues at minus 245, and I'm gonna go with Robocop here. That's my pick. I think he's going to get the job done. Can he finish Brad Tavares? Of course, he packs the power. and he has enough to submit Tavares. But Tavares is an OG. He's been in this fight for a while now. He's a game opponent, but I think Gregory Rodrigues is going to get this done. And I see Gregory Rodrigues as a strong potential parlay piece, just like Denige as well. So that's where I stand on this. Let's move forward. Let's go. We're steamrolling here. We have no time to waste. I'm going to be skipping Michael Johnson versus Darius Flowers because as much as respect I have for Michael Johnson, I don't have it in my heart to break down his fights anymore. I just can't. And I will not be betting that fight. That's why waste my time? Now the next fight is interesting. Rodolfo Vieira versus Armen Petrosyan, and this is an even Steven pick'em odds fight, and hence the nickname money fight. That's what I call all my money fights. Let me just change this. So at the current moment, we have pick'em odds, like I said, minus 115 for Rodolfo, minus 105 for Armen Petrosyan. I'm going to go in on this money fight. This will be my even money pick. And I'm going to go with Armen Petrosyan. I see this as a 1.5 to 2.5 unit play. And I'm pretty confident in this pick. I believe Armen has enough to weather the storm from Rodolfo Vieira early to stop the takedown. He has enough, from what I've seen, enough grappling experience to stop that and keep the fight standing, because if he keeps the fight standing, he is going to absolutely piece the living crap out of Vieira. If Vieira doesn't get the hold of you and submit you, he's not going to get it done in a standing position. I don't think so, at least. So I like my odds here, and I'm flipping the coin, and I'm gonna go with Armen on this one. Okay, let's go down the line. Then so I will be skipping Trevin Giles. I will be Trevin Giles versus Carlos Pratis. Pratis is a debuting fight here for UFC, and he's a big favorite, and I'm not touching that, and I can't trust Trevin Giles. Oki, Bolgi, Oki, I don't know, versus Demir, another hard name. Yeah, we're just gonna skip that fight altogether, because I'm just gonna ask this question: who cares about this fight? And if you comment down below, if you really care, if you comment down below, I'll break down this fight. But I don't care, and a lot of people probably are not gonna care about this fight. It's probably I'm not. Yeah, Luke Bumi versus Bruno Silva. I'm gonna skip that fight as well. I'm not a female MMA hater. I love female MMA. In fact, my biggest play was Molly McCann inside the distance this past weekend. But this is not the fight that I'm gonna be interested in. I'm just gonna skip her. I'm just done. Devin Clark versus Marcin Prachnio, another skipper for me, because I cannot trust either of these guys. And if I can't trust either of these guys, then why am I gonna bet, right? Skipper. Now we're gonna have some action now in this fight. Jeremiah Wells versus Max Payne Griffith. And at the current odds, we have Jeremiah Wells minus 180 versus Max Griffith at plus 150. And this will be my dog pick. Number one, Max Payne Griffith. I believe the competition to this fight has been much greater compared to Jeremiah Wells. I mean, look at the guys that Max fought. He fought his last losses to Michael Morales, who's a stud, undefeated. Tim Means, split decision, OG, the Dirty Bird. And here you have Neil Magny, who just had a big upset from Mike Mallet. And this was a split decision win. So you got to credit that. I do, at least, even in a loss. Carlos Condit, he took out a legend pretty much in the sport. OG and Kenan Song, he knocked his head off. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Max Griffin for that following reasons. I think better competition, and I think he's a little bit more sharper in his striking, and that's gonna be my pick, my dog pick number one. Moving down We are gonna break down, or not break down, but I'll give you my pick on this fight. So Zach Pauga versus Bogdan Guskov. My pick is gonna be Bogdan Guskov. Pauga is currently minus 135, and Bogdan is plus 115, close to near pick'em. So you can actually play either line depending how you do it. I'm gonna lean slightly underdog here at plus 115. And I'm gonna go with him. I like the fight that he had with Volkan, although he lost and he got choked out. But making your debut against Volkan, no time. What's his name? Volkan Ozdemir. Is that how you say it? Volkan Ozdemir. I'm sorry, Volkan Ozdemir. So this is, I would have to just close my eyes on that fight. And also that first takedown attempt that Volkan did, Bogdan got up. So if he got up from Volkan, I think he's going to get up from Zach Pauga if he decides to do the ground game. And at striking, I think Bogdan is game and much, much more dangerous than Zach Pauga. And henceforth, why I like him to win either by KO or submission inside the distance. This fight should not be going to the judges. I think one of them is gonna get finished, and pretty badly. So, and not to mention he's from Uzbekistan. So I hope this Uzbekistan fighter can represent, because unfortunately for us, Muradov got eye poked and that fight didn't deliver at all. So that's the pick, dog number 2. Depends how you want to play it. We got one more fight that we're going to talk about, and that is this new fight because Fernie Garcia is coming in on a short notice. The original fighter that was supposed to fight Hyder Amil was what's his name? Malsik Bakhtasari, and he withdrew the fight. So I'm gonna go with this new guy, Hyder Amil. I don't like betting debuting fighters. That's against my rules. But in this case, you kind of have to, right? If you must. So my pick is gonna be this dude, Hurricane, because I don't think Fernie has any strength at all to knock out or even do anything to this guy. I think he has better hands. I think he has better ground control, better ground and pound, better clinch control. Overall, I think he's much better than Fernie. No disrespect to Fernie Garcia. He is just not UFC level. I will never call another fighter trash because they're in the UFC, they're in the octagon, and I'm not. So we're gonna go with Hyder Amil. There's no odds at the moment, and by Wednesday when I make my final picks for you guys, we should have the odds. So that kind of wraps up my video. I tried to be as short as possible. Oh, and FYI, I skipped the last fight. I know I'm not talking about Marcos. What's his name? Daniel Marcos versus Kilang, because we never ever bet the first fight, and if we never ever bet the first fight, we never ever even break down. That's unless Islam Makhachev is on the first fight, we will never bet the first fight. That's it. That's the story. So in any case, thank you for sticking out with me to the video. I appreciate you, and if you like this type of quick, to the point breakdown video, make sure you give me that follow, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side. You boys out.